Hey guys, it's Marcus here, and today I want to talk to you about 10 things that happened when I stopped drinking. When I quit drinking, these things happened in my life, and I want to share them with you. The main reason I want to share them with you is because there's other videos floating around on YouTube about the benefits of not drinking. Now, I know there's a lot of people that look for benefits of not drinking for whatever reason. This video is not for them. This video is the person that's looking up benefits of stopping drinking because they can't stop drinking. You see, I wasn't like those people who just drank occasionally and woohoo, it was fun and whatever, and I like getting drunk and everything like that. That's all fine and good if that's you. However, I was the kind of person who could not stop drinking no matter what. I couldn't find a way out. I had dug myself into a pit of alcoholic insanity. And 3 years ago when I stopped drinking, these are the things that happened, some of them overnight, some of them over time. Number one, life slowed down. You see, when I was drinking alcohol, life was kind of like a fantasy, right? I was always frantic about things. I always had to get stuff done. Everything was always urgent and needing attention, except when I was drunk, which is why I liked getting drunk, because then these things didn't matter. The only way to shut my mind back then was to go and drink. But after I stopped drinking, life started to slow down. Now, while my anxiety was high and my energy level was high and everything was fast inside of me, I had realized that life had slowed down. This is something that I inadvertently learned in rehab, being taken out of my life for 30 days and the world still spun. Imagine that, right? The world still goes on without me in it. That was one of the most important lessons I learned, and I also learned that life slowed down. Number two, I had to learn new coping mechanisms. You see, ever since I was a kid, I always liked to drink, and I liked to drink because I had been lacking certain social skills and certain life skills that the rest of the people just seemed to thrive and do really good on. Unfortunately for me, coming from my background, for whatever reason, I didn't have these coping skills. Alcohol came in and said, hey, I'm going to provide these to you, and when I drank, it was like making up for that lack. When I stopped drinking, I said, wow, I actually have to deal with this. I actually have to deal with feeling anxious. I have to deal with anxiety and nervousness and, inadequate feelings and everything like that. So number two, I had to learn new coping skills. This was very difficult, but I wouldn't trade it for the world because some of the coping skills I have now obviously are going to be with me the rest of my life and have founded or formed how I am as a person in a really good way. Number three, anxiety issues. Now, a lot of people say, oh yay, when you stop drinking, the whole world's going to stop and everything's going to be peaches and roses. That's not the case. This is why a true alcoholic keeps drinking, because these anxiety issues are here. Now, what happens when you drink is you get your body and your mind accustomed to having something there for your anxiety, right? So it dampens the feeling. It dampens the feeling and it dampens the feeling. Now, when you stop drinking, unfortunately, anxiety is going to get really high and you're going to start craving alcohol because that was a solution that once worked for you. But it no longer works anymore. And it's dampening it, and it's making it worse. And the very alcohol that you are using to stop the anxiety symptoms is now causing these symptoms. That's why when you stop drinking at first, you're going to be anxious right out of the get-go. When I was in rehab for 30 days, anxiety was like 24/7. I never had no anxiety. It was always there. It was always a level 10. It took me almost about a year to get past these, but right away I started learning these new coping skills that helped me over and over and over. Number four, I learned how O.C.D. works. Now, if you haven't figured out by now and you're dealing with alcoholism and you can't quit, you have O.C.D., right? That is an obsession of the mind and a compulsion in the body to drink. That means you think about something over and over and over again and you can't stop it. When I stopped drinking, I learned how O.C.D. works. I learned that it's not real, and I learned that I don't have to give in to its cravings or its thoughts or its desires or whatever it is, and I don't even have to think about it. I could simply refuse to go down that path. And inadvertently, I learned how O.C.D. works, and I learned how to deal with it in my own life. Number five, I stopped living in a narcissistic dream world. You see, ever since I was a kid, my world revolved around me. You didn't matter, everything else didn't matter, I mattered. Now, at times, you would matter to me, and that's all fine and good, but at the end of the day, everything came back to revolving around me. And I went through life as if things were happening to me. Life happened to me. People that died, it happened to me. Things that happened in my job happened to me. And I acted like I was a victim of everything in life. I was a victim of life. Now, when I stopped drinking, I realized that, hey, you know what? The world doesn't revolve around me. I'm not the be-all, end-all. I'm just one of 7 billion people on this planet. And when I opened my eyes and I stopped drinking, I realized that this narcissistic dream world, if I could say that right, was not real. And it started to go away. And I said, you know what? Maybe things do matter other than myself. Maybe I'm not the center of the universe. Number 6, life got easier. Now, I don't mean life got easier like all of a sudden I quit drinking and money came in and houses were built in my honor. No. What I mean is that it got slower and easier and more calculated. I was now able to slow down and say, you know what? I can deal with things as they come. I don't need to drink them away until they all pile up and get really bad. I can deal with them as they come. And some things I can choose to say, I'm not going to deal with that right now. I'm going to give myself some time. And I allowed myself to have forgiveness and say, you know what? Some things just take a while. Sometimes I just need a break. And sometimes that's okay. Number 7, I started reading more, which, if you've seen the videos with my bookshelves, I started reading a lot more. Currently, I'm reading about a book a day, which is really cool. And I'm learning a lot more, right? I have a lot more time. When you're drinking, oftentimes, if you drink every day, your timeline gets screwed up, right? You fall asleep or pass out at certain times, and you spend so much time in a fog that you don't realize what you're missing. Now, when I stopped drinking, it was amazing because I realized, wow, I have all this time on my hand to learn and learn and learn and do more things, and life doesn't have to be frantic and crazy anymore. I could settle down and enjoy every minute of every day, because one thing I learned also is that I have all the time in the world right now. If you live in the moment right now where you're at, you have all the time in the world to accomplish what you want to accomplish. Number 8, I earned more money. Now, this didn't happen right away. After I got out of rehab, I took almost a year where I was just dealing with getting better and recovering and everything like that. But after that year, when I started working, I wasn't as frantic, I wasn't as worried, I wasn't as stressed, and I was able to work from a place of abundance rather than a place of lack. I was able to live my life from a place of strength rather than everything's happened to me, I'm a victim, I'm just responding, right? Instead of reacting to everything, I started to slow down and respond, right? How many times are we reacting? Do we treat life like we're just getting smacked around and, whoa, 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 stop it? Or are we saying, whoa, I'm going to step back, you can keep slapping, but I'm not going to be there anymore because I'm going to slowly calculate everything that's coming at me without being frantic and crazy. Number 9, I had no more insanity. You see, when I was well, that's debatable. If you're watching this video, you might think I still have it. But when I was an alcoholic, I was insane. Everything was crazy. My thought processes, my thought loops were not working right. Everything was about the bad, everything was going into depression, and what I learned is that alcohol controls the way your mind works, right? We have two things. We have content of mind, which is the stuff we think about, work, girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever it is, right? And then we have the working of the mind, which is where our mind goes, right? Have you ever noticed how when you're in a depressive mindset, things just kind of get depressed? You start thinking depressive things, the content is depressing, and you can't get out of it, right? That's the same thing that alcohol does, whether it's depression, whether it's OCD, whether it's anxiety, whether it's guilt, whatever it is, it controls the working of your mind. And when I stopped drinking, I was able to say no more insanity because I realized that my mind started working in a different way, and I liked it a lot better than when I was controlling it with a substance. Number 10, I got a completely new philosophy of life. You see, before, where I was a victim of everything and I was going through life saying, this is happening to me. When I stopped drinking, about a year after I stopped drinking, I started reading a lot of new things and started understanding different ways at looking at life. And I got a new philosophy, and I absolutely love waking up every day and enjoying my life and facing the day and saying, hey, check it out. This is really cool. I can't believe this is my life, when 3 years ago I was ready to kill myself because of alcohol. Again, the insanity is over, a new philosophy of life. So, I hope this video helped you understand the 10 things that happened to me when I stopped drinking. If you're one of those people that can't stop, or you simply like the stuff that I have to say, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Check out talksober.com for information on how to quit drinking and information on how to get a new philosophy on life. Stop being a victim for watching and learn how to treat every day as a gift from God, because that's exactly what it is. Thanks again for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, check out my other videos, and learn how to live life sober one day at a time, enjoying every day as a gift from God. Thanks again for watching.